Hey, Natasha here. In this video, we are going to discuss why what got you here won't get you there to your next level, the expansion in your business. Now, not only do you have to shift your mindset to a CEO, you have to shift your actions as well. What I mean by this is it's going to require you to expand everything in order to scale. So, if you like my content, I invite you to like, subscribe, comment, and check out my Fear Chronicles podcast, which is all things mindset and private practice. So, when I had my private practice, I was doing all of the things and I thought I was going to change the world. And I mean, I changed a small piece of it, sure. But I found myself so incredibly busy. So busy that I really, between the day-to-day tasks, I couldn't take a step back and look at my business and my practice objectively to see what was working and what was not working. Seeing the bigger picture really involved taking a look at myself, and I didn't want to do that. So, especially when it came to my habits. So I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time I reviewed my systems? When was the last time, or even better, am I still using the same processes I did when I first started my business? Or another good question to ask yourself is, am I still doing blank, whatever it is in your business? Or can someone else do blank? So, all things to ponder on as we dive in. I'm going to start with number one. There's no stick figure here, which is do the blank thing first. Any guesses what this is? It is do the hard thing first. So this seems so simple, yet I bet you're not doing it because going back to my journey, I said I was super busy with the day-to-day stuff. Sure, there were day-to-day operational things that could be done at any given point in time. But on the other hand, I really liked feeling I'm a checklist. I don't actually have the check boxes here this time, but I'm a checklist person. I will literally write a list with check boxes so I can check it off, especially if I just did the thing, right? And why do we do that? We do that because we feel accomplished. We feel like, oh, progress, we're getting stuff done. The slippery slope that we find ourselves in, and I found myself in for a really long time, is I would much rather cross out 5 small piddly things on my list than the big honking project that I really just need to sit down, do so I can launch it or do whatever it is, right? So this essentially leads to this busy trap, right? If we want to break the busy trap, it's really tabling the small things because either A, they really don't need to be done, or B, someone else can do it, which we're going to get to in a little bit. Do the hard things first. Why? Because that's actually going to expand your business, take your business to the next level. It's hard or big or whatever it is for a reason because it has a purpose, right? And not all of the small little things are necessarily going to give you that ROI. I mean, if it's, some billing and stuff like that, it's actually going to pay you. Yes, do that. But I'm saying big picture, do the hard things first. Yes, you won't cross as many things off your list, but this is going to move your business. It's going to move you to that next level that's what you want, right? Instead of crossing off this entire list of things to do. I mean, we want both, but do the hard thing first. That's going to give you more momentum. All right. So number 2, do what you're avoiding. In this case, it's not always going to be the hard thing or the big thing. Sometimes the things that we are avoiding are things that we may feel, conflicted about, or things that we just don't want to address because it brings up feelings, right? So what happens when we avoid things is they cause what I use the phrase of energetic leaks. And I've mentioned this before in different content. I don't know if I've used it in these videos necessarily, but an example I'll give you is my first business where even after I closed it, I let things hang out for a little while, whether it was some billing, some leftover billing, outstanding things that I hadn't billed yet, or the actual like legally closing of my business. I let that hang out for a really long time. And I honestly couldn't even give you words as to why, except that I was avoiding it because I was just like, oh, it's not important. I can do that later. But what it became was pieces of it were energetic leaks. Supplies I still had in my house for a very long time, well after I had closed and we were no longer seeing clients on like my mobile unit. I had tons of extra paper supplies. I let that all sit for a really long time. I avoided it for a really long time, and it was an energetic leak. So the things that you're avoiding, it wasn't hard. It wasn't a big thing. I just wasn't doing it. So if you really want to, we're talking about streamlining, clearing. This is your space. This is energy. This is things that are taking up mental bandwidth in your brain. Energetic leaks is a huge one. And usually it's something that we are avoiding. So when we do this, if we're also in avoidance with things that we know would actually be that needle moving driver in our business, like say it's again, we are a little like fearful of, I don't know, a networking event where you have to put yourself out there, or you just came across this amazing opportunity that would just give so much visibility to you and your business. But that involves you to maybe, I don't know, speak on a stage, get on a podcast, or do something that feels very foreign to you, feels like outside your wheelhouse. But the result of that would be humongous. Again, physically, not super hard. Cognitively, it's arguable, not a super big load, but you're avoiding it. Usually it's, yes, something we just don't want to do, or it comes from a place of fear. So do the hard things and do what you're avoiding. Now, number 3, I bet you know what it's going to be. It is pick not 10,000 things, but one. Pick one thing. So I can come at this one a few different ways, but what I'll do for the sake of this video and time is really focusing on one, again, the thing that's going to move the needle in your business. Or if you're multi-passionate, as I am, this one can be a bit hard to just stick to focusing on one thing. Because what happens when we are doing, we're balancing multiple plates and we're wearing all these hats and, energetically, we are scattered. So, and I think I've said something to this effect in a previous video, right? Where if we're scattered so much, we can do so many things not very well versus being able to do one thing extremely well. And that also goes back to our energy and our focus. So if you have like 3 or 4 pillars of things that you are working on, either directly related to your business or not, or they could be side hustle, side things that you're doing, you really got to dial it in and focus on one. And in a previous video where I talked about being multi-passionate, if you are, as I am, it's not about giving up the other things. It is about different ways to go about like different seasons or different segmentations that you can do. So you're just honoring and focusing for a period of time on just one thing versus scattering. Because what happens is you're really going to lack progress. You're really, again, going to lack growth. And you're going to be super busy all the time and feeling like you're literally going nowhere fast. So pick one thing, even for a season, whatever that season means to you, just do one and really focus on that. Because I totally guarantee that you will do it well, you will execute, and you will complete something very, very beautifully. Now, number 4, I didn't write in, but I am going to repeat it till I'm blue in the face in almost every one of my videos, which is D&D, which is delegate and delete. This is something, because I'm saying it so often, and I'm going to put it here too, is I want you to revisit this often. Because as your business grows, as you expand, as you may put in different offers or open another location or doing different things, it is so important. Make this recurring in your calendar systematically. Like, I don't know if it's every quarter or whatever, or semi-annually, it doesn't matter, but that you are consistently going back and taking a look at what's in your business, what are the systems, can they be optimized, can anything be like get rid of it or delegated to someone else? Are you now at a point where you feel comfortable that you can delegate that out, that you can outsource billing, admin, whatever? Get yourself a BA. It is okay. Do what you need to do to streamline your business and your time to maximize your expansion, your revenue, and your processes, right? So always revisit that. So I didn't even write it out because I just know that I'm always going to mention that because it's always worth revisiting. Now here's your bonus. Because you're working really hard, but you're not busy, you're focused. And you're doing the hard thing and you're not avoiding anything, you're dealing with all the things. So now you've closed up all these energetic leaks and you're super focused and you know, and you're clear on your vision and you know exactly what to do and how you want to execute to expand your practice. You picked one thing and you're like, this is it. This is what's going to generate revenue and this is what I'm going to focus on. You've delegated, you deleted, everything is essential and optimized and oh, so beautiful. What you need to make sure, even when you're busy, but when you're focused and you're doing the things, it's all work is great. We want balance, but what you need to make sure that you're always doing, of course, resting. I'm not going to, well, I could add that in. I'll add it in because it's worth, I'm talking about all this needle moving and things like that. But when you get out of that busy trap, you will find that you can actually schedule in and rest because you're not busy. So rest was kind of implied, but I would put it in here, but it's to reward yourself. It is very good and you should reward yourself. So when you are just killing it and you're like, dude, I just did the really hard thing and I didn't even take me as much time as I thought it would take because I was so focused and dedicated and I did it during my peak performance time where I'm cognitively there. So something I can do in that time slot took me half the time versus trying to do that in the evening when I'm shot for the day. So you reward yourself. And this can be whatever a reward means to you, whether that is you get your favorite ice cream, or you're like, okay, now I can binge watch that season of Grey's Anatomy or whatever. Put your reward in there. It doesn't have to be food. It doesn't have to be binge, whatever feels good. That's a treat to you. Doesn't have to be food. I'm highly motivated by food, but reward yourself because you're doing a great job. And you know what that does in your brain? You're like, oh my God, I worked really hard, and it motivates you to do the work. Positive reinforcement to yourself, knowing that you have something to look forward to, whether that is a break, whether that is a massage you scheduled for yourself, whatever that treat, that reward, that time off, that break, whatever, rest and reward yourself, okay? And that is how you break the busyness trap. That is how you motivate yourself. And that is how you will scale and expand your business once you become very clear and laser focused. And you get rid of all the extra noise that's going on. And just don't forget to reward yourself. Please rest and reward. There needs to be a balance. So thanks for being here. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and check out my Fair Chronicles podcast. And if you really want to dive in deeper, I invite you to take my 2-minute Are You the Bottleneck quiz to find out who or what is slowing down you and your progress. See you in my next video.